Huge moo to the herd, and welcome to episode 5 of our Automation Empire playthrough. So just quick a recap on where we were from last episode. We now have coal and iron, and we now have our claw train transports in place. They are delivering the crates to these unload stations here and here, and we've also set our pit stops to prioritize coal for this one and iron for this one in an attempt to make things a little bit more efficient. So what I think we're going to do for this episode is continue on that vein of efficiency. So one of the big problems I can see at the moment is that our little drones will keep on crashing into each other and into walls and everything else, and they're not necessarily the most efficient things in the world. So I think one of the things we need to unlock is the claw track truck loader. Now, to do that, we're going to need to unlock the crate gate, and both of these require us to have 25 iron and 3,000 kilograms of weight for our 3-month target. And the claw track truck loader requires 25 crates of coal and 4,000 kilograms. So I think this is a good time to reevaluate our base. I mean, we've grown it a little bit organically. We've just thrown things down and hoped this works and hope that works. But I now think we need to start moving things around. Excuse me for the cough. So one of the advantages we've got is when we demolish something, we get back the cost. Now what we don't get is whatever materials are inside. So if I was to demolish this container of coal ore, I'd lose 120 crates of coal ore. So what we need to do is start draining things down. And I think the best way to do that is probably switch off our mining rigs. So if I just click on, if I can find it, the transfer tube, switch that off, switch that one off, and switch that one off, and do the same for iron. Actually, how much iron have I got? I've got about 36 crates, so we're okay from that. So let's get the game running again. So the plan, I think, is we want to organize these factories a little bit better. There's a lot of dead space here. This one's not too bad. I can fit quite a few more smelters in, and we can process a lot more coal even. I don't know what the problem is today. I can barely speak. Let's switch autosave off briefly because I don't really want that flashing up every 5 seconds. Actually, let's leave it on. Inevitably, I switch it off and the game crashes and we lose everything. So, do I need to move this claw track over a bit more, I wonder? I think so. Just so it can get that additional claw in. There we go. And we can pick up a few more items. As you can see, that they're bringing crates back because they can't unload any quicker because our unload belt here is maxed out and my drones, they're just crashing into each other. What we could do is spend a bit more money on unload stations. Drag those along and see if we can just clear a bit of the backlog. The idea is to try and get this container down. So what I'm going to do is we're going to reconfigure the factories so that we have a refining factory for iron, a refining factory for coal, much in the same way we've got at the moment. But they will then output into these research bays. 1 iron, 1 coal, which will generate us research points, which will be brilliant. But hopefully will also generate us some additional weight if we can make these things a bit more efficient. So if we can get some more refineries in, and we can also make sure that we're delivering on stuff. Now, I'm not sure exactly how this works, but I'm guessing if I feed crates of iron into the research bay, this will go towards the unlock for it as well as the weight. That's what I'm guessing at. And the only way to be sure is to test these things. So what's the first step? Right, our mining rigs are doing nothing apart from filling up. Is there a way of switching these off? I don't think so. I suppose I could cut the power, but not sure I quite want to do that because I think these are pretty much unlimited. And our trucks are heading off. Our coal production slowed down a bit. Wonder why that is. Doesn't seem to be a lot getting through to the second one. Well, there we go. Right. Time to think. How do I want to do this? So we want to bring our raw material into here. Got our container. We will crate this up. Now, if I remember correctly, it requires crates to be able to refine it. So, definitely has to be crated. So, as long as we're bringing stuff in here, has to be crated, gets refined, and then from there, those crates can be scooped up by another one of these containers with a transfer pipe, which can then be outputted to a research bay. So we need to get it out of here. So probably what we want to do is take the crates, unload them out here, have something pop them back up, feed into another container, outputs to the research bay and also to a crate maker. Have those crates then clawed over to here. So let's see if we can pop that together. Right, first things first. I want do I want a large container? I think it would give us a nice buffer. So if I pop this roughly about here. First things first, I think I want to do is switch this transfer tube off. And I want to drain down what's left in here because we're going to be putting iron into here. So we'll take this transfer tube, pop that down there, take our large container and pop that in there. Now we need alright, this is going to be our first problem because the step conveyors only work inside. So my original thought of putting claws in and dropping them onto the step conveyor doesn't work. I wonder if an unload station, would that work? If the claw train brought the crates out up to here and dropped off. I'm just going to delete the claw train for a second. Get some money back. Right, so the other option is mine carts. But I don't think a claw train can fill a minecart, so we'll either run a minecart from the factory to here to unload, which might be one option, or we'll try it with the... Let's try it with the unload station. Right, so we want a transfer tube to pick up, and we'll try an unload station. Yeah. So the unload stations don't interact with transfer tubes, and nor do the load stations, which is a bit of a bummer. So I'm going to have to think about how we do this, because it may be that we can't use the claw trains, and what we need to do is basically suck it up into a container here, and have minecarts come out, deliver it round to here, and then offload from there. So let's give that a shot. So we'll take these out of the way, because at the moment we're kind of wasting stuff. We'll take our little small container. You're going to go... Where are we going to pop you? You're going to pop you here? Yeah, that'll do. We'll bring our transfer tube in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear back all of this. We're just experimenting at the moment. What I do want is a unload station just here, just to take any empty crates and fill them through. So what we'll do is we'll switch our transfer tubes back on, and we'll start getting... I'll just turn the one on just while we're experimenting on this. I don't know where this cough's come from. It's very irritating. We'll put a transfer tube here. We'll take our mine track and bring that round. And just take it to there for the time being. And take you there. We'll add some additional carts in so it can pick up. And same here. Right, so the theory is we will produce iron. It'll go into this storage cart here, storage container here. Mine carts will come pick it up and deliver it to here. This will fill this up. Once that's filled up, that will then start pouring into our research bay. But we should also then be able to output from here into a container, crate maker, sorry. And from that, we can then claw train that over to here for delivery. So, before we start running out of money, let's get this underway. So I want, say, let's add 3 carts in, shall we? Well, actually 2. Let's remove 1. Did that just remove a cart full of stuff? Wow, how irritating. Right, so good. So we're now adding that in there. And this is processing the iron into research points. And great, we've got 1 iron. And if I look under here, see, it still hasn't listed that. Oh, that's a shame. So I wonder how I do this. Maybe it's when I claim them. Oh yeah, when I claim them, there it goes straight into there. Perfect. So that works. That's exactly what we wanted. Right, so let's up the tempo a bit. Let's switch all of our mining rigs on. And get the mine carts picking all of this up. And remember, these carts can hold 4 crates each, so every unload is going to be 8 crates. Well, that was the theory. I suppose it's just going into there, so the more I can process, the better. Because we really want to get a nice backlog of stuff here so that we can start selling it off. Right, so handily, I've got this claw train track here that goes back to our previous one. So it shouldn't take much to reconfigure this to start selling stuff, which is good. Where are we? We've got 3 crates there. Would really like to get better efficiency on this. Where is... Right, there's our minecart. I wonder if I can dump some research points into faster minecarts. I think that's 150,000. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. Let's see what our other research bay is. We've got 51,000 there. We are building up a reasonable surplus. So we'll probably want to do the same with coal. I'm not sure if this will... Well, there's an easy way to find out. I was going to say, I'm not sure if this counts towards other ones, but it does. Yeah, steel plates. That's just that. Gold we don't have any of. Oil we don't have any of. Iron. Cool. So if I was to set up the coal setup right now, that would work as well. How are we doing on that? We're down to 70 crates. That's brilliant. See, what I'm thinking of doing for this one is just bringing that down to here and have that outputting into this research bay and export that somehow. I'll figure it out, I'm sure. You know, at the start I said yeah, it's really important to plan ahead, and I'm kind of winging it, so it's not the end of the world. Right. Let you go and process this as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, we're getting some nice iron being processed, and this is building up quite nicely, so I would like to get some more refineries in. I think the best way to do this is the best way of doing this. I've got that there. I've no idea why I've got it there when I could just pull that flatter. It could go around a corner. This could go... Well, the problem is the minecarts. We've got to have that runoff for the minecarts. I don't think we're going to get the bend in here to be able to loop that round. I think that's just too tight a bend. Although, I suppose it depends where the door would go. Would it fit? Yeah, it would. So what we could do, a bit cheaty, is have the get this one, track go outside a bit, and then I'm going to stop this transferring just for the time being. So what I can do is move that up and move this round. And if we do that, so if that's facing this way, and if I get my belts, which way do I want to go? That way. Nope, don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. Like so. And like so. And then if we were to move that basically up to the edge there, I could get another smelt line in there, and that would speed up my iron production. And we're getting a nice backlog there, which is brilliant. So I can start selling that off in a minute, because it has hurt our profit a little bit. But it will all be worth it in the end. I keep on telling myself. Right, this should be the last crate. It is. Great. So get rid of that. That and that. We'll pop our transfer tube right there, I think. Yeah. And we'll take a little crate there. And we'll take this one and pop that in there. And now I should hopefully have enough space to add another refinery in. So I'm going to go that way. Does this work nicely? Yep. It will indeed. We'll get our transfer chlorine. We'll pop you that way. Step conveyors. That way to that way. And that way. Another transfer chlor. And then pop this belt this way. Great. So what we should now start doing, as long as we've got enough surplus, I wonder if there's a way of skip every 1, 2. Would that work? So skip, grab. Right, that works. So if I now set you to skip every 1, this should hopefully balance things out. Excuse me again. Skip, bing. Yep. So that hopefully that should get our refineries more active. But yeah, we've got plenty of crates of that coming in. So how are we doing? 5. That's filling up nicely. That's got 10. Alright, perfect. Yeah, I wonder if we want to add maybe an additional cart and see what happens. Because I can always extend it out this way if we need the additional space. But hopefully this is doing exactly what we want, and it is. So the next stage is we want to output to a crate maker. So we want a, where are you? I think you're here. Right. I'm going to take a long or short? Short. Once the crate maker's there. Where are you, crate maker? If this is, let's flip you round. That's a short one. That's a long one. That line up just right, I think. Right, so let's take that one. Pop you in there. Get our crate maker. And pop that. Let's just spin that around a bit, just make sure it's lined up. There. Drop a power cable in. Power cable or power pole. And then have our unload stations. And then theoretically, if I take my claw train and put a pickup here, and then take that, make sure that fits, to just to here, and our claws are there, so we'll add we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we can add 2 more claws. I think probably need another unload station just here. Right, so that gives me 5 claws. The drones are doing their job. They're going to go load the bay up. And I think I'm being silly unloading it there when I could just unload it here. So let's demolish this once it's unloaded. Yeah, let's remove that one. And we'll run our claw track. I need to demolish that one here. Where are we? Ooh, that's a long one. All the way down to here and then along to about here. And then we'll pop our unload station about here backwards. And we'll have our drop off just here. And we'll get the drones to pick this up. So now the drones will have a lot less distance cover. I want to make sure the drones are not picking up from there. Perfect, they're not. So we'll be able to get all of our iron out that end. And we should also have this one. All the drones should be doing their job from there. But we're not producing any coal at the moment, so that's why they're not doing it. Wow, that's really hitting my profits. I'm glad we got that back up and running. Right, so if I now look at this one, I have 25 crates of iron that's been used for research. So I just need to up my tonnage, which hopefully I can do. The drones are just sitting there ready to move. I think what we'll probably need to do is do the same for the coal setup. Get that plumbed out to here once that's drained. And we'll plumb that into this research station, or I might probably will move this research station or research bay once that's all drained. Get that done and then work on getting our crate gate unlocked and then our claw track truck loader. And because we've set this up, we should be able to just gently tweak those and really get things moving. So I think that's a good point to end this episode. We've changed our research priorities. We're now researching using iron, which is helping contribute towards our unlock, which is helping towards our efficiency. A lot of guessing and umming and ahhing as to what we were doing, but we got there in the end. So I think next episode we will clean up the base layout a bit more, get the coal feeding into the research bay and then off to be sold, and unlock the 2 remaining claw track options. How many research points do we need? 150,000. So we need 300,000 research points. So it's definitely worth carrying on our research on that one. That's a nice 35,000 sitting there. So we're going to need at least 300,000 research points. So we'll keep that going. But I think we will end it there. I hope you join me for the next episode, and I hope you have a great day. Until then, bye.